With us now is Mark Edward Willows, right? With one L. How are you doing today, Mark?
I am doing great, Donna, and yourself?
Very fine. So we've had a lot of great, long, cute, fabulous conversations about life
Oh,
and
did we
work and
ever?
television. So much fun. But I'm excited to celebrate something special with you, and you wrote your first children's book.
Yes, I did. It has only taken me about 30 years to do so. But one day I finally sat down and I said, you know what? I am going to write a book. And I came up with the idea, and the book is called Silas and Sophie. And this is the book right here. And
Cute.
it is about a boy and the love for his dog. And he is a little farm kid, and it goes through its trials and tribulations, but the ending is beautiful. And you may need a little box of Kleenex as you're reading the book.
Now, did you have a puppy growing up, Mark? Is it partly
Yes, I
autobiographical?
did. I have had puppies. I currently have, if you could believe this, Donna, 6 cats. So, yes, I have
Wow.
always been an animal lover, but I grew up with dogs from the day literally I was born.
So you're calling us from the Chicago area today, right?
Yes,
So
the
what's it like?
Chicago and
Yeah. So
it
how's
is
the weather there?
it is chilly today, but in a few days, believe it or not, we will be at 70 degrees. So it's been, November has been a very fluctuating month. I mean, every day, let's face it, 2020 has been fluctuating. So it seems like the weather has been fluctuating with it.
Absolutely. And being a cat lover, it's interesting because do you ever, I know people that actually take their cats for a walk. Have you ever tried to do that?
Yes, I do. And if you could believe this, I have cats that love to go in a car. They are the first ones in, which is very strange. They will sit on the back window. They are viewing everything. They are as nosy as could be. So my cats are very unique, and I've raised them from kittens. And I tell everybody because they're so well behaved, and I always say, well, we had words the day they came in the house. They got their rules, and
They
just
knew.
fantastic.
Lovely, lovely is that lion's roar, right? Now, what people that wouldn't know about you that I find fascinating is the number of people you have interviewed in your life. You've been on red carpets. You have, I mean, your hall of fame goes on and on. But I'm going to ask you to limit it just for now because people could always go to your website to find out more. Who are your top three? And I didn't even tell you I was going to make you pick, Mark. But who are your top three
Okay.
interviews that come to mind?
Three that I interviewed, Oprah Winfrey would be number
Okay.
one. And I interviewed her back in the day before the world actually knew her. Number two, Mary Tyler Moore. And as a result of that interview, Mary and I became friends. And number three, from the Mary Tyler Moore show, Cloris Leachman. Cloris was
Oh,
a complete riot. At the end of the interview, she gave me a big hug and she says, I feel sorry for you, anyone that has to work with
Doris
me.
Leachman. Now, what's so exciting about you too is that what people might not know is that you have an extraordinary collection of memorabilia of sorts. What are a couple of your favorite things that you have?
Oh, geez, I have a bewitched lunchbox, which was given to me actually by Elizabeth Montgomery from the Emmy Awards. I have it here. This was on every plate when we went to dinner. And from Warner Brothers, where the Emmy Awards were 5 years ago, we all received this. It is a
Ah,
Hollywood studio camera. That is some of my collection, but I also collect a lot of memorabilia. I have a lot of stuff from Chicago shows, and probably the Bewitched lunchbox would be my most treasured because that was actually given to me by Elizabeth Montgomery.
yeah. So such a. I've heard. I've never got a chance to meet her. Have heard so many wonderful things
Oh,
over the
she's
years. You know.
a gem. Yes, wonderful. And she actually took me to see the Bewitched house, if you could believe that. Just a
Oh
wonderful
my
lady.
gosh. And we were talking the other day on the phone too, Back to the Future. Can you share with us your
Oh,
story
dear.
about that?
Yes, you know, I used to also do writing, and I've written for, you name it, newspapers, magazines, all that. And one of my interviews was Michael J. Fox. And of course, as you know, you're always in touch with their publicist. And his publicist was a lovely lady by the name of Nancy Ryder, whom incidentally has passed away actually a couple months ago. But Nancy invited me and my family down to Paramount Studios to a taping of Family Ties. And we got on the back lot, you know, Donna, oh my God, pulling through those gates of Paramount, I was in heaven. But anyway, we met Michael J. Fox on the back lot, and I was with my mom and dad. And Michael was just as gracious as ever. He made us a cup of coffee. He took us in the first bench. We were the first row for the show, and we did not even know this. We sat next to Nancy McKeon, who, of course, was Jo on The Facts of Life. At the time, Michael was dating her. We sat next to Nancy, and we sat next to the twins of Meredith Burney's children. So it was just a magical night. And I can tell you, Michael is one of the nicest, most down-to-earth people you'd ever want to meet. And the year we met him, this was early 80s, he said to us, oh, I got picked for some kind of movie, Back to the Future, but I don't know very much about it yet. And of course, we all know what happened after that.
Well, I remember walking out of the movie theater after watching that, and I remember just like looking for Mike home. I looked for, I mean, it was so surreal. I think it was you really did feel like you time traveled when you saw that. Well, Mark,
Oh, yeah.
I wish you continued success. I'm happy to know you as my personal friend now through our friend
Donna,
Marcos.
So
And
it was just wonderful being on your show.
and how can people get your book, Mark? How can they best get your book?
The book is available at barnesandnoble.com in the hardcover. And if you want a paperback, it is available on amazon.com. And the last 2 weeks, the book is on Kindle now. So there are 3 ways that you can get it.
Oh, congratulations. Oh, and speaking of people we know, it's my son Matthew calling because I forgot to turn off my cell phone. And that's television for you. Thanks, Mark. Be well. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.